I used to have the whole hotel, restaurants, bar, and everything. I worked with my father, and he died in 2000, and I had to run it by myself. So I did it for 20 years, and like 5 years ago, I sold the whole hotel. I just kept the bar, the rock and roll. And now I can really do my passion and concentrate on shows and bigger shows like the one we have tonight, like Soulfly played here, Coronel played here, Suffocation, whatever, all those crazy bands. I never even dreamed about doing that kind of shows. And now it's happening, so it's so cool. I mean, I'm just doing that now.
Hey, what's up, Vox and Hops heads? I'm Matt McGachy, the vocalist of Cryptopsy and the host of the Vox and Hops Metal Podcast. The Vox and Hops Metal Podcast is brought to you by Sound Talent Media and Evergreen Podcasts, where I sit down with fellow metal musicians, talk all about their lives and music while sharing killer craft beers. Now, before we jump into today's episode, I'd just like to ask you to follow the Vox and Hops Metal Podcast on the podcast platform of your choice. But more than that, I would love for you to tell a friend about the podcast. If there's someone in your life that just loves listening to in-depth conversations, in-depth interviews with metal musicians, well, you should definitely let them know that the Vox and Hops Metal Podcast exists. If you would encourage one of your friends to become a brand new Vox and Hops head, that would be something that I would truly appreciate. Now, today on the podcast, I'm very stoked to be with Muffi of the Sunset Bar from Martigny, Switzerland. Get ready, everyone. This is Vox and Hops episode number 455.
I warn you, what you are about to hear is very disturbing indeed.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Today, I'm very stoked to be with Muffi. We are here in Martigny, Switzerland. We are at the Sunset Bar.
Correct.
First fucking podcast of the Unquestionable Blasphemy Tour, and you motivated me to brush off my recording equipment to do an episode today because it's fucking cool here. That's why. We're having a great fucking time. Talk to me about how you're doing. Let's start with a very simple, how are you?
I'm so good because of the show tonight also. It's good to have you guys.
Sold out fucking show in Martigny.
Yeah, it's not that difficult to sold out.
115 people. It's a small room. We're going to build up to that.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about what we're drinking here. It's Vox and Hops, where I hang out with my metal friends, talking about their lives and music while drinking craft beers, and that's exactly what we have right here. Cheers.
Cheers.
Crisp lager. This. Where does this beer come from? Talk to me about the whole story of this beer. It's named after you.
Yeah, actually the guys who are working here behind the bar did that like a present for me. And they went to the brewery there is here in this town, and they asked to do something special, a special beer, and that's what they did. And one day I arrived at the bar and saw my picture and here's the beer. And
that's
you
fucking
like
incredible.
It's good.
It's very good. It's crisp. It's light. Nice little lager. Take me back to your very first beer. Remember the first beer you ever drank?
You know what? I started drinking alcohol when I was like 22.
Really? Okay.
No,
That's late.
I didn't like it before. I didn't like it. I tried beers and so, and I didn't like it at all. And one day I discovered a red wine. And that was good. And then Weiss beer from Germany,
Yes.
you know. And then it started, and now it's another story. But the first beer, I don't remember which beer it was. I don't really remember. I don't want to say bullshit, but I don't remember.
There is a lot of good craft beer at this place. There's a bunch of BrewDog going on. I'm seeing special signs put up that there's like
Red
new
Drafts,
beers.
we have like 8,
Exactly.
and we have like 30 more in bottles.
Wow. So talk to me about your evolution into craft beer. You started with the Weiss beer, the red beer into a Weiss beer. Are you a craft beer enthusiast? Are you as crazy as I am?
Not for craft beer. I really like the stout beer.
Nice.
But not really Guinness, but because it's, for me, I shouldn't say that, but it's the worst of the stouts. There are so many good stouts, and that's what I enjoy the most, and the Weiss beer.
Hell fucking yes. Talk to me about your first shows. You remember going to see the first show you ever went to go see?
When I was the youngest, the first show.
Exactly, yeah.
Uh-huh. You really want to know that?
Yeah.
It was Bon Jovi.
Hell yes.
Yeah, in 88, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm 51, so I'm pretty old.
So that's slippery when wet?
It was at the New Jersey tour.
Really?
Yeah. And after that, I saw Metallica and Justice tour. And then more metal until... we were pretty lucky in these times, but it was the beginning of the thrash, the beginning of death metal, and all the bands played in Switzerland. So I saw the first tours of Obituary and all those bands. It was really cool. But I never saw Cryptopsy.
Well, tonight you will. I'm very happy to be here.
8 years I saw them for the first time on the boat, actually, like 4 years ago.
70,000 tons of metal.
I think it was just before COVID.
We don't talk about what happens on the boat. Crazy fucking boat. Never again. Not interested.
Why?
We don't talk about what happens on the boat.
Okay.
No, we had a
Fair enough.
crazy time. So, you go from being a metal fan. Did you ever become a musician? Have you played in bands?
I play guitar, and I played in a death metal band back in the 90s. Then I stopped, and during COVID, I grabbed the guitar again, and I'm playing like 5 hours a day now.
Oh shit!
Yeah. And that's the way it is now.
Do you remember your first time on stage?
Of course.
What was that experience?
I was really afraid, but after the show, the first show, it was okay. You know,
I still get nervous to this day. So.
Really, every day.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, so after that it was okay, but the first show, it was a little bit stressful. It wasn't that many people, but it was stressful.
It's funny how that happens.
Yeah.
The Swiss scene. Talk to me about that. You said back in the day, all the big thrash bands came through Switzerland. What's up with Swiss and metal and what goes on in Switzerland? It's beautiful. First off, I woke up. We partied hard last night. Woke up here, stepped out of the bus, and you look around, and we're literally surrounded by beautiful mountains.
Yeah, you know, it's a good place. All the people say that. They like this place because, not only because it's a cool area, but mountains. Today is sunny. You're lucky.
Beautiful.
Yesterday was not good, but today is good. Yeah, and what about the Swiss bands? If I tell you Celtic Frost or Coroner, it's crazy. I mean, the huge bands, influential bands. So, yeah, we're pretty lucky to have them.
This show, this place, you becoming a promoter. Talk to me about that. Why did you go from being a metal fan to someone that played in bands to now promoting, having a small club in Martigny? Talk to me about that.
I tried to make it short. I used to have the whole hotel, restaurants, bar, and everything. I worked with my father, and he died in 2000, and I had to run it by myself. So I did it for 20 years, and like 5 years ago, I sold the whole hotel. I just kept the bar, the rock and roll.
Really?
Yeah. And now I can really do my passion and concentrate on shows and bigger shows like the one we have tonight, like Soulfly played here, Corona played here,
I know.
Suffocation, whatever, all those crazy bands. I wouldn't never even dream about doing that kind of shows. And now it's happening, so it's so cool. I mean, I'm just doing that now.
It's so fucking cool. We walked in here, and I'm sure everyone has the same reaction as us, because it's a very small room.
Yes, it's really small.
How do you deal with that? Is there talk to me about dealing with issues or problems or people's reactions with having a venue this small?
So, at the beginning, even now, the first thing I say to the guy who's doing the tour,
booking agent,
it's by 5x4 the stage meters, and the capacity is 115. So, can we speak more, or do we stop here? And then they say, what? Like bands like, Soulfly and whatever played here, it's not possible. Say, yes, it's possible, but you have to just agree with that. If you agree with that, you're going to have a fun time. You're going to enjoy it. But I can understand if you say no because it's too small. That's not the problem. But I don't want to deal with that when people arrive.
Day of the show,
They have to know before.
It's like, hello, I'm Muffi. I have a small venue.
Yeah. But, when they say who played, they say, okay, we don't care. They can play also if those bands play. They say, that's okay, but please ask the band first.
Yeah.
And I know when they're going to be here, and after the show, they're gonna say it was crazy. We want to come back. But when you enter the room the first time, they say, really?
That's
did
exactly.
Soulfly or hardcore band like did Madball or Terror play here? Yes. Okay, so we do it also. And after the show, they say thank you so much because it was great. So.
I do have to say the accommodations that you've given us so far, the drinks, the food downstairs. Delicious, high quality catering coming from you, taking the care. You can feel that there's some care. So talk to me about that, about your relationship with bands and why you take the extra steps, because you don't have to do it all.
Of course you have, because the room is so small. It's the smallest stage in room in the world, so you have to do the best catering and welcoming to the bands.
That's amazing.
That's it.
Yeah.
And you missed the hotel tonight because that's what they like, really. You can park the nightliner just in front of the club. You don't have to move it anymore. When you play London,
you
have
drop
45 minutes, then you have to drive 1 hour.
It's the worst. What do we call it? We call it there's a name for that. I can't remember now. It's going to bother me.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
But here, you can park it here, then it's done. The drivers, they can have a drink also. And then you can show you the backstage. Then I show you, you're not sleeping here, but the rooms. And then you can also eat at the panoramic restaurant. Tonight you have to buy out because you're 24 people is not easy.
It's a lot, yeah.
And you start at 7, you have 4 bands done, so it's better to do that this way. And that's what they like. It's like vacation for the bands here. So a lot of
That's
bands,
what it feels like. It feels like a day off.
Yeah. And they say, okay, next time we want to hang a little bit around.
An extra day.
Show us the mountains, show us the lakes in the summer. And they do 2 shows, so it's even more vacation.
Wow!
So
yes.
you sound check just the first night, and the second night everything is set already. So you can hang out the whole day, and
That's
and of
fucking
course
sick.
then the most important you will see is the after party.
I know we have a 9 a.m. bus call, so we're going to have a very good night. Are there any white whale bands that you would love to host here, but it hasn't happened yet?
Actually, Catholic Decapitation, but they should play during COVID, and it didn't happen. Now they're bigger and bigger and bigger, but I talked to Travis, and maybe I can make it happen.
A small little intimate show.
Yeah, and of course, Dying Fetus also in the extreme.
Yeah.
That would be really crazy. But as I told you, I already did so many bands that I would never even dream about doing. So what comes. It's another present every time.
During the pandemic, how was it for you? What was it like in Switzerland? And everything was gone. You had sold the hotel at that point. You were just relying on the bar and the shows.
I sold the hotel.
How did you stay alive, basically?
I mean, if you did the right thing before, so pay the taxes and everything, we had a lot of money during that. So for the money, it was not a problem. Even some bars or restaurants even earned more during COVID when they were closed.
We're making more money.
Yeah, because
wow.
They treat us really well.
From Switzerland?
In Switzerland.
Okay, that
we have to say that.
Good for that.
But for for the mental health and all that was difficult, and we opened and closed like 2-3 times. I can't
Did you
even
host
remember.
any shows? Is there like a show that you hosted with restrictions or?
Actually, your tour manager came here with Vader. They played 2 days in a row during the pandemic. I think it was the only band that toured in the whole world, and we did it, and it was cool. Of course, the restrictions were different in every country. So
absolutely.
They had to wear. We had to wear masks in the public had to do that. And they told me the day before they played in Germany, everybody had to sit down.
Yes.
So
it's crazy.
But we had this show But I think I tell you the worst was really opening, closing, opening. Then just the outside could be open, then close again. That was difficult, but it was difficult for everybody in the whole world. So that's behind us now.
It is.
Yeah.
What should I expect tonight? Like, we played 4 nights in Italy, and 2 of them were sold out. One of them, the crowd was just crazy. The other one, they were more like an observing type of crowd, so they're still enjoying themselves, but they're not going fucking crazy. What is going to happen in that small room tonight?
I don't know. Everything can happen. I saw stage divings. You're going to ask me from where? They're like,
Yes.
They're jumping around from everywhere they can. But that's more a hardcore show. Death metal, usually, they're just moshing, banging their heads and so, but it's going to be full. So you never know what's going to happen. And it's not easy to get a mosh pit because it's so small and so crowded. But sometimes it happens also.
Maybe I'll stage dive tonight.
Yeah, you can.
I feel like they'll have no choice but to catch me.
I stage dive before you, and then you can follow me. Okay, we do that?
I like that very much. Yes. Muffi, this is great. I'm so happy we took the time to sit down, have a little chat before tonight.
It was a pleasure.
I brushed off my recording equipment. First time of the tour. I appreciate you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you all so much for listening to this very short Vox and Hops episode. We were hanging out before the show, and I just wanted to have a chat with him because I was just so impressed with everything that was happening that day. We shot off a few questions, we hung out for a bit, and then I put the microphone down, and we kept hanging out for the rest of the night. Shorter episode, I tend to not do it like this, but I definitely at least wanted to have somewhat of a spotlight on this very small venue in Martigny, Switzerland, because Muffi is just so goddamn cool. He took us sightseeing after that we recorded this. We drank late into the night. I spat fire. It was a crazy night. So massive cheers to Muffi for everything he's doing for the Swiss metal community. And I might just take you up on it, but I might come and do a vacation in your hometown. Just putting it out there. Massive cheers, Muffi. Now, if you enjoyed this Vox and Hops episode, you should sign up to the Vox and Hops Metal Podcast's mailing list. You can do that by going to my website, VOXandHops.com. That's VOXandHOPS.com. And when you do that, you shall receive 1 email a week that will contain all of the details of everything that has happened recently in the world of Vox and Hops. You will get to see which episodes I dropped. You will get to see which episodes I have coming up. You will also get to hear about anything that is going on in the world of Cryptopsy, such as our upcoming tours, exclusive merch drops, and little hints at secret things that we have coming down the pipeline. You will also get to see which albums the Vox and Hops album review crew have reviewed recently, and you'll get to see which albums Jerry Monk, Vox and Hops' Metal Architect, has added to the Brutal Awakenings playlist. The Brutal Awakenings playlist is jam-packed with all of the freshest, best new metal releases. Trust me, if you are looking for some new music in your life, the Brutal Awakenings playlist will have you covered. It's available on both Apple Music and Spotify, so you should definitely check it out. So please do me a favor and sign up to the mailing list. The Vox and Hops Metal Podcast is brought to you by Sound Talent Media and Evergreen Podcasts. I hope you have a killer rest of the week. I will be back next week with another episode on Tuesday. But until then, remember to enjoy life, metal, and craft beer. Cheers, Vox and Hops heads.